Have you ever paused mid-sentence, wondering whether to say a apple or an apple? You're not alone. Sometimes choosing between A and N might seem tricky, but it's super simple once you know the rule. Today, I'll break it down in a way that's easy to remember, and by the end of this lesson, you'll be speaking with confidence. So if this sounds interesting to you, keep watching this video. Hello, language lovers. Welcome back to my channel. Without further ado, let's jump right in. So, where do we start from? Let's start with the basic rule. Number one, use a before words that start with a consonant sound. Number two, use and before words that start with a vowel sound. It's not about the letter the word starts with, it's about the sound it makes when spoken. Let's explore some examples. Example one, a a dog. Now, the word dog starts with a consonant sound D. Now let's look at the second example, a university. Although university starts with a vowel U, it begins with a U sound, which is a consonant sound. And then let's look at example 3, a one-time event. The word one starts with a W sound. So can you see that it's not determined by the letter but by the pronunciation? Let's see example with an apple. The word apple starts with a vowel sound A. The next sentence is an hour, an hour. Now notice, even though the word hour starts with a consonant letter H, but the H is silent in this case. The first sound is a vowel, so we cannot say a hour but an hour because the H is silent. Okay, and let's also look at the next example, and honest. Again, the same case. The H is silent. Remember, the word honest is not pronounced honest. The H is silent, so you cannot say a honest. It's an honest. So the H is silent, and the first vowel sound is O. So it is an honest person, an honest man, an honest girl. Now you know the secret to choosing between A and an is all about the sound and not the letter. Don't forget that. Now you can see that the rules are pretty simple, but there are some interesting exceptions that can trip learners up. So let's get into that now. Let's look at some exceptions where things get a bit tricky. Now, words starting with H. I already mentioned that when it has to do with silent H, don't follow the rule you'd expect. If the H is silent, use and. Example, an hour, an honest man, an honest person. If the H is pronounced, use a. Example, a house, a happy child. So here's a tip, always listen to whether the H is silent or pronounced in the word. It will help you know which article to use. Now the next one is abbreviations and acronyms. When it has to do with abbreviations and acronyms, it can be confusing because it's all about the pronunciation and not the spelling. Let's look at examples. Use and if the abbreviation starts with a vowel sound. For example, an MBA, pronounced as MBA, MBA. Use A if it starts with a consonant sound. Example, a USB drive, not an USB drive. A NASA scientist. You see? The next one is words starting with a U. Now, words starting with a U can also be tricky. If U makes a vowel sound, use N. For example, an umbrella, an unusual event. If U makes a U sound, that's a consonant sound, use A. For example, a university, a unique perspective, a unique perspective, a university. So, and the next one is words starting with O. Words starting with O can also vary. Again, if O makes a vowel sound, use N. For example, an orange and an octopus. If O makes a W sound, use A. For example, a one-time event, a $1 bill. We also have regional variations. In some cases, pronunciation can vary by region or style. For example, historic, historical. In American English, a historic event, the H is pronounced, while in British English, an historic event. Now notice the H is softer or silent, and historic event, an historic event. American, a historic event. Always go with the pronunciation you're comfortable with or the one that's common in your region or country. Now let's look at this other exception, compound words or phrases. For example, when using descriptive phrases, focus on the sound of the first word or phrase. For example, an unusual experience based on unusual. Example 2, a big umbrella based on big. So if you take out the big, we have an umbrella. That's it for today, guys. I hope you learned something. You learned the rules and also the exceptions. Now you're ready to use A and N as a pro. You learned something from this video, hit the like button and share with your friends. Subscribe if you're yet to do so and hit the notification button so you don't miss a lesson because every lesson is invaluable. I'll see you in the next one, guys. Do take care of yourself. Bye.